in this election, we must pledge once more to march into the future.
One of the most important components of the Democratic National Convention over the past 20 years has been one person, Barack Obama.
Thank you so much. Tonight is a particular honor for me because, let's face it, my presence on this stage is pretty unlikely.
In 2004, Democrats were trying to wrest the presidency away from George Bush, and a 42-year-old state senator from Illinois, Barack Obama, gave a speech on the second night of the convention. No one knew what to expect. He wasn't very widely known, but it was a speech that kind of broke through all the noise.
There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America. The pundits like to slice and dice our country into red states and blue states, red states for Republicans, blue states for Democrats. But I've got news for them too. We worship an awesome God in the blue states, and we don't like federal agents poking around in our libraries in the red states. We coach Little League in the blue states, and yes, we've got some gay friends in the red states. There are patriots who opposed the war in Iraq, and there are patriots who supported the war in Iraq. We are one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the Stars and Stripes, all of us defending the United States of America.
He used the term hope a lot. This is a time when Democrats felt like they were back on their heels. They didn't see how they could possibly win another election, but he tried to give a very hopeful, forward-leaning speech.
Do we participate in a politics of cynicism, or do we participate in a politics of hope? It's the hope of slaves sitting around a fire singing freedom songs. The hope of immigrants setting out for distant shores. The hope of a young naval lieutenant bravely patrolling the Mekong Delta. The hope of a mill worker's son who dares to defy the odds. The hope of a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too. Hope in the face of difficulty, hope in the face of uncertainty, the audacity of hope.
Most Americans had no idea who this guy was, but he had an incredible way of speaking directly to them in their personal experiences and their personal struggles. And it was that moment and that connection with Americans, with Democrats and Republicans alike, that thrust him onto the national stage, and it's the stage that he's stayed at ever since. The 2008 speech came during a really dark moment in America. It was the summer when the financial crisis was really starting to snowball. A lot of middle-class Americans were seeing the American dream slip through their fingers.
Tonight, more Americans are out of work, and more are working harder for less. More of you have lost your homes, and even more are watching your home values plummet. More of you have cars you can't afford to drive, credit cards, bills you can't afford to pay, and tuition that's beyond your reach.
So he gave a speech about the middle class, about bringing the middle class back, about the role the government could play in helping America get back on its feet.
It is that promise that's always set this country apart, that through hard work and sacrifice, each of us can pursue our individual dreams, but still come together as one American family.
This is the first presidential candidate on a major party ticket who was not a white American. So Democrats really leaned in to the moment, leaned into the spectacle. He gave this big speech with big ideas at a big outdoor stadium.
Tonight I say to the people of America, to Democrats and Republicans and independents across this great land, enough. This moment, this election is our chance to keep, in the 21st century, the American promise alive.
In 2016, another historic election. Obama had been in the White House for 8 years and was now attempting to pass the baton to Hillary Clinton. They were going up against Donald Trump. They didn't know what to make of him. I think a lot of Democrats falsely figured that it would be an easy election for them to win.
I can say with confidence There has never been a man or a woman, not me, not Bill, nobody, more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as President of the United States of America. I hope you don't mind, Bill, but I was just telling the truth, man. Good evening, everybody.
In 2020, the tone of Obama's speech was very stark. It was after COVID had begun. It was after the George Floyd killing. The country was really on edge. And Obama used that speech to drive home the importance of this election for Democrats.
As you've seen by now, this isn't a normal convention. It's not a normal time. So tonight, I want to talk as plainly as I can about the stakes in this election. Because what we do these next 76 days will echo through generations to come.
This is an election that was not a normal election. Biden was not out campaigning like a traditional candidate, so there was a lot of weight on Obama's shoulders to try to get Biden across the finish line.
I have sat in the Oval Office with both of the men who are running for president. I never expected that my successor would embrace my vision or continue my policies. I did hope, for the sake of our country, that Donald Trump might show some interest in taking the job seriously. That he might come to feel the weight of the office and discover some reverence for the democracy that had been placed in his care. But he never did.
His 2024 speech has the potential to be just as historic. Again, he's trying to get a female nominee elected to president, something that the country has not done before. And he's in Chicago. This is the city where he got his start. So the Democrats are going to be looking to see whether he can pass the baton and get her across the finish line this time.